So, what I'm going to do is obviously you already know about this, but I'm going to show you something that I'm very proud of that arrived in the post literally the other day. And when I received this in the post, I can't tell you how nervous I was to open this because it's one of those things that you can either buy and spend a lot of money on and get scammed for,
Yeah.
or you can find an absolute hidden gem. And I'm so happy to say that it was the latter and not the other way around. It's on display. I've even got a little magazine holder for it. How like I can't tell you how sad that probably sounds from like an outsider looking in, especially if you don't play this game. Like my fiance, when I got it, she was like, "Oh, you spent all that money on a book." And I'm like, "It's not just a book. Like you
It's a
can't call it a
PSO
book."
book.
Exactly. But for those who don't know and will be seeing this video, I managed to pick up an English version of the Versus guidebook for PSO.
I'm
And
so jealous.
oh mate, I'm jealous and it's mine. There if you are in the PSO space and you've been like playing the game, like I don't know, even just for a year or two, you'll know that pretty much majority of the guides that you'll see now are all Japanese replicas or Japanese genuine guidebooks, but obviously we can't read them over here. Um, it's one thing that this is in, and I'll insert some like footage my side for this video of kind of opening the book, but literally like I don't know if you guys can sort of see the condition. I mean there is not like a scratch or like anything on this, and to top it off, the poster that comes with it is still like intact in the book,
How?
like not even removed. Like the seam is there. It's just like someone's got this and just gone, right, I'm going to just put that in the corner of my room and I'm never going to touch it. Like you can see all like the individual breakdown of the contents, and it's got anything from like mag guides to class guides. Pretty much like if you can't be bothered to listen to SectionSkyly on YouTube, like just buy this. It will cost you a lot more money, but you could just buy this.
Yeah, that basically just put me out the job. So yeah, go and do that.
I know. I know, and I probably sound like a massive nerd saying this, and I actually smile every time I look at this. It's one of those like items that if if the house was on fire, it'd be one of those items to like you would categorically just run and grab like fuck everything else. You just go and get it.
Is there any
But
chance I can
yeah,
see the poster that comes with it?
yeah, of course, yeah. I'll try and like zoom it out as much as I can, because it is like
Oh, I didn't realize it was
it
a
is,
huge one.
yeah, it is. It's like, well, it's like this is probably like a really awkward angle, but like because it's not ripped out, it's like double-sided and it like
Okay, yeah,
folds out.
that's
But I
really really
think
cool.
it's similar to like the original artwork. Like we've got on here, you've got a phoneme, you've got a Hugh Newell on here, you've got a Ramar on here. There's just a lot going on and loads of like original artwork in the background as well. Um, I mean, I think I've been searching. I think we've had this conversation multiple times, but I've been searching for something like this for it's probably been a few months now. Like it even shows you all of the original breakdowns of like all the weapons and their stats
That's
and
insane.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, like it sounds ridiculous because if you've played this for any length of time, you kind of know all this sort of stuff. But there's even like guides for like how to get Soul Eater and like where to go in like what
Oh,
room and
nice.
like really like tedious quests. There's like literally step by step, room by room breakdowns for every single quest and there's like boss guides. Like even for like the dragon, there's like a boss guide in here, and I'm like, you just
There's
stand still and
two
shoot it and just
sentences.
avoid things. Yeah. Have you had any experience have you had one of these before or like had experience with
Never.
this?
No, so I never bothered buying one back at the time because I was always of the impression that a lot of these like so-called strategy guides are quite often a waste of time. Not
Yeah.
much in them at all. So I never bothered with the PSO one. I didn't realize how much was actually in it.
There's so much. It's just like the thing. Do you know what? I think, as silly as it sounds, this has now become more than just a guidebook. This is almost like, well, it sounds really sad to say this, but it's almost like artwork for the game.
Oh, it is,
It's
yeah.
like, it is like an actual part of the game now. I remember like my dad had this from day one when we played on the Dreamcast version, and he would play the game, and I would just sit there and read through the guide. It was like a pilot and co-pilot situation, um, and I think that's like some of like my most fondest memories. It even shows you like which section ID gives you like which drops and like details about like how to get what section ID, like and what it drops. Like for example, it will tell you that like oh Green Hill you'll find like rifles more frequently, and so it's just insane. There's so much information here. I'm going to assume some of it's probably out of date due to the age of it, but yeah, if you're playing on a Finia, it's going to be slightly different. But
Is it
yeah, without
is it designed for Dreamcast or was it for like GameCube and
it
Xbox? Do you
is
know?
yeah. No, this is so at the top it's a Dreamcast and
Okay.
Sonic 2. So that we're talking probably like version 1, version 2. It definitely doesn't say anything about episode 2 or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably like not to start off like with a bang, but that's probably like my that's definitely like one of my like highlighted geek moments so far. Um, yeah, I must admit, like when that came through and when I found it, I was like, this is just like when you see the listing, it's like, oh, like make an offer, and I'm like, if I do this, like it will be gone. Like
Yeah.
there's no, this is the first one I've seen in like so long.
I don't think I've ever seen one, to be honest.
No, I honestly like, I fully believed that when I was telling you about it and like telling you I was looking for one, I thought, oh, this is just a myth now. Like this is just a pipe dream. There's no way in hell
Yeah.
someone's going to have it. And then yeah, to see it kind of arrive, and it arrived in bubble wrap and there was cardboard supporting the back of it, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? um but yeah, no pressure, so I'll let you follow that one up.
Cheers for that. So I think we'll keep the theme going with books then. Just to say, so two of mine are books because there's not a whole lot else for PSO
No,
merch.
no,
But
no, I agree.
so the first one I've got it's probably a bit more recognizable, and unfortunately it is in Japanese. But I've got the Book of Hunters.
Oh, that's wicked.
So this again is for Dreamcast, and again is absolutely full of loads of different information. Some of it is probably similar to what's in the book that you've got, but you've got.
Yeah.
I'll just try and find a good page. So there's artwork for all the different areas.
Oh, that's sick.
What else have we got in here? Let's have a look.
So is that all in Japanese?
Entirely, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've had to use like Google Lens to translate some of it.
Is it strictly a Japanese like document book though, or are there English versions available?
I'm honestly not sure. I've only ever seen Japanese ones.
Yeah.
But you even have, again, this will be really hard to see on camera, but there is like interviews with dev staff, and there's also little comics in the back as well.
Oh my word! Yeah, look at the artwork on that other page. Wow. If anyone watches this out of context, they'll be like, "Why are these guys just like talking about books all the time?" I get really excited, but trust me, it's like this is just unreal. Seeing, I've never seen that book at all. How
So
long ago? How long ago did you get that?
I've had this maybe about 2 years or so. It's
Oh,
actually quite easy
wow.
to find on eBay as well. So
That's
this
what I'm
one,
doing next.
it's not in brilliant condition, this one, but you can still get it fairly cheap, honestly.
Yeah.
One really cool thing about this book is it actually has concept designs for monsters that then weren't used or were changed in the game.
Oh wow, that's
So
so interesting.
we've got monsters like this.
Holy.
So I mean, you can tell
Why were
that
these
this one
not
here
made
is
in?
like the lily. I'm guessing that was like an early design for the lily, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's insane some of the designs that are in this.
Wow, that like shrimp kind of like prawn enemy at the bottom is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it does go through all the actual enemies that made it in as well, but I just thought it's cool that there's a part in it that shows you like unused designs as well. So there's another one here for the Panam's unused designs.
Do you know what? Like, I really don't want to be that guy, but the bottom, it's hard to tell because your camera's flipped, but like the two like lizard-looking ones,
This one here.
honestly look better to me than the actual design that made it through. They look really cool.
Yeah.
They look like Digimon or something. You know, they look really like that. Like, I don't know. They look like they fit it. I've never been a fan of like, how they're like backs and their like butts kind of like sit on top of each other.
Yeah.
I've always thought that's like a little bit, I don't know, creeps me out a little bit as they like join together. It's super weird. That's really cool. I never knew there was like concepts like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into a lot. I mean, there is like a full like lore breakdown at the beginning as well. But obviously, again, it's all in Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing what else is in it. It's been a while since I've looked through it, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
I suppose to be honest, there's probably an abundance of stuff on there. I'd actually, to be honest, I really need to find one or at least have a look at one because I had no idea there were concepts of enemies and items that never even made it through into actual service either. That's really interesting.
oh yeah. Another quite interesting thing in this is that there is like full interviews with the dev team I mentioned a bit. So there is interviews with like Yuji Naka,
Oh wow,
looking
wow.
extremely young.
Yeah, I was gonna say that man does not age.
The craziest one is Satoshi Sakai, who PSO2 players will probably know was the director of PSO2. In this, he looks ridiculously young.
That's madness, honestly. How old is that document? Do you know how old is that actual book?
I believe it's from.
Well,
Let's
if
have
it's
a look.
Dreamcast, it's be over what 20 years?
Yeah, it looks like it's from 2001.
Wow. Oh, I feel so old. 2001. There's people watching this that don't even know what that year is. They're like, there was a 2001. Was that when the dinosaurs were here?
And just to cap
Oh
it off as well,
no.
on the back there is a really nice picture of a Hunuel as well. So can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, can't be biased at all.
Best class and
Mate,
everything.
that's
So
awesome.
yes, that's
I
the Book
love
of
that.
Hunters.
I love that so much. Honestly, like every time I look into Phantasy Star Online, and especially if you search it on like eBay or on like, there is always something that you've not seen before that
Yeah.
is like, oh, like I had no idea that they like it before. Like, I've got a couple of pops and stuff on here that aren't related to PSO, but even before they existed, there were still forms of like little Japanese pops and like gacha pops and stuff that you could get.
Oh yeah,
And I
the
didn't
little
realize
Gachapon
they did
figures.
one. Yeah, I had no idea they did them for PSO as well, and I was like, wow, okay, like where have these been? Um, I guess to lead on to my second finding, which is something that is really really close to my heart and I've had for a while, is the box art for the original Dreamcast PSO, which I've got just here, and this is my original version 1 Dreamcast copy of Phantasy Star Online.
Oh,
It's
nice.
been through the wars. The top of the case is slightly broken,
To be
slightly. And if
honest,
anyone,
I think that's the thing
yeah,
with just all Dreamcast cases. I think pretty much every Dreamcast game I've got
oh,
has a broken case.
honestly, like I don't know what it was with the plastic, but you only had to look at these the wrong way, and the clips were just like, yeah, "I'm done, boss. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done." I I can't tell you how many times I've read this case back to front and stared at. We even said the other day in a video that this artwork here, not to catch the light too much, is probably the it's going to sound biased to say, but probably one of the most iconic piece of game artworks that I've ever seen growing up. It's on like pretty much if you can picture a t-shirt or some sort of like clothing that you want related to PSO, then that
Yeah.
image is probably what you'll find on a lot of them.
What I like about that art as well is when they released the GameCube version, they kind of did like almost like an homage to that artwork. So the
Oh
GameCube
wow.
version is like very very similar, but has the new classes on it.
Oh, that's cool. I
Have you seen the
guess
GameCube one?
no. That's the episode 1 and 2 artwork, isn't
Yeah.
it? At the front. Yeah, I think I've seen. I don't think I've seen the GameCube one, but is the Xbox one not exactly the same?
No, they're actually different.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yes.
okay, maybe I haven't then.
So the Xbox version has a Humar on the front of it, sort of crossing Musashi in the shape of an X because Xbox.
Wow, yeah, of
Um,
course.
but the GameCube one is basically very similar to the version 1 art, just with some extra classes in.
Oh, mad! You learn something new every day. I had no idea because I've seen. Yeah, that would make more sense because I've seen that sort of crossed saber, which I think was really cool. But I didn't. I put two and two together in my brain that was the Xbox logo. I just thought, oh, that's really cool. Like it's crossing like the sabers. That's awesome. Yeah, but that makes far more sense now. That's actually like thrown me off the fact that you've just said that.
Yeah, so this is the GameCube version. So just trying to get it so it doesn't catch the light.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never seen that.
So it's kind of
Wow.
quite hard to see because the camera light, but just behind the sort of main characters on the front, there is like the rest of the classes from the old art.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite
Oh
hard
my
to see
word.
just because it keeps
Is
catching
that
light.
your original? Is that the GameCube version you had that you were playing all those years ago?
Yeah, it
Is it
is. Yeah,
really? Wow. That disc has seen some serious rotations then in
yeah.
its time.
I say it won my GameCube out, so
And I I had no idea that was different. So you learn something new every day. But I think one thing that I can say for certain is that it doesn't matter if you've had the Dreamcast version, the GameCube version, or the Xbox. Like that, the artworks all the way along for me personally are just next level. Like really, really are next level. It's I don't know. Like I guess I mean we've said this before anyway. But one thing that really kind of irks me about modern day, I guess, gaming now is that you don't really get anything tangible. There's
yeah.
nothing that you can really sort of take apart, or I don't know, you're driving to go and get it and you're bringing it home and you're reading the books and the manuals. You don't get any of that anymore. It's just a download this and download that, and that's it. So to have these like, kind of, I guess they are memorabilia now because they are a bit older. So to have that is really, really cool. But yeah, I think this is just something that no matter how like broken and battered it is, I don't think it's something I'm ever going to be able to let go of, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
same for me with the
See,
GameCube version.
even had the old like remember the hunter's key or like the hunter's license key you used to have to put
Yeah.
in. I had one of them in the back as well when you first registered it, but yeah, it's past seen its time now for sure. So I mean that will
Think I've still got
summarize.
the GameCube one.
Have you? I can't let it go. I'm just like it has to stay. It has to stay. Oh, over to you.
All right, so I'll start off with a book then, and we'll finish with something else. The
Yeah,
last
cool, cool.
one's not PSO, but it's Phantasy Star. So
Yeah.
this next one, it's actually it's like a double helping. So first of all, actually it's a triple helping. Actually, I forgot that. So first of all, it's an art book for PSO Episode 3 Card Revolution.
Oh my word! Wow.
And the
What?
problem is it's really glossy, so it's catching all the light on
I
the
was going
camera.
to say that is reflecting like crazy. Wow.
So I bought this when it came out new. So and I've just kept it in the case since basically. So it's pretty much brand new.
Oh my word.
But there's loads and loads of artwork in this as well. I'll try and show you another page from it.
Not to be the elephant in the room here, but have you had a look at how much one of those is worth these days?
I think I've seen them for around £50 around that. The reason that they're expensive is because they come with another book as well. So
right, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like 3 books in one. So first of all, you've got the Episode 3 Card Revolution part. This is really cool because it has loads of the card art in it. So again, you've got all the different pictures of the card art.
I still need to play this. I've not had the opportunity to play this at all yet.
So there's basically most of the card art from the game is in there. But the really cool thing about this art book is, so you've got the Card Revolution part there. If you then turn it around, it's also a Blue Burst art book.
Oh, wow. Is it just like doubles up then?
Yeah, so when you open it back the other way, you have all of the Episode 4 stuff from Blue Burst.
Oh my God.
So you've got different
That's
areas.
so cool.
I think it does have concept art.
What's the theory behind that then? Like when it first released, like why do they double it up? Do you know? Is it just something that was like coincidence, or they sort of planned to do it?
So as far as I'm aware, you could never buy this book separately. It was always just like a bonus book basically that came with something else. So it also there is some more class art in here as well.
Oh, that's so awesome! I love that so much.
So best thing is Huniwell in a purple outfit, which is very dear to me because that's what my Huniwell's always used. So so that's the Episode 3 and Blue Burst art book. As I mentioned though, it was actually a bonus with another book, and the other book is it's a bit of a beast. It's called the Elements of Phantasy Star Universe. It's a PSU art book.
Oh wow!
So this is the cover for it.
That's so sick.
Alternatively, you can have Ethan.
Oh yeah.
And again, this is just absolutely packed. I mean, it's a really thick book.
Wow, that's a chonker.
It just has tons and tons of artwork in it. So try and find a good page for you. So again, you've got loads of enemy art from PSU.
Oh wow, yeah.
I believe there is a lot of class information as well, and there's a mix of like concept art and actual in-game renders as well. So you've got like partner machine stuff.
That's insane. See, I've never seen any of this. I didn't even know that book existed.
Yeah, so I bought this when it was brand new. So there are still a few around on eBay. So if anyone does want to look into it, they do still exist. But yeah, you've also got things like It's really hard manipulating this on camera.
Yeah, I know it's terrible, isn't it?
We've also got like actual character art as well. So it's just entirely PSU, this one. It's only base game PSU, unfortunately. I don't know if they ever did one for the expansion, but it's a really, really good book. But honestly, the main reason I got it was for the PSO BB and PSO Ep3 art book.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I can imagine with a book like that. I mean, obviously, like if you guys have seen some of like the recent videos I've posted about PSU, you'll know that that game somewhat flew under the radar a little bit for a lot of people.
Oh,
And
definitely, yeah.
although it was played, it was very much perhaps not to the extent of PSO. So I can imagine like adding in an additional third party, like tangible book that probably not many people knew about. I can
Yeah.
imagine they're probably few and far between, really. But no, I had no idea that existed. That's do you know what? Like in the back of my head, I'm like, right, okay, like I'm gonna add this to my list. I'm gonna add this. Like it's starting to look very, very expensive. I guess to sort of bring the finale to my side, really, is something that I didn't actually even buy. And when I was streaming the other day, that my fiance actually bought for me. It's not strictly just PSO related, but it's more of the PSO2 form. And that's this Rappy over here.
That's actually really good because it ties on to my last item as well.
Does it? I know, again, like I'm not a massive like PSO2 or NGS guy. But the reason why I've always loved the Rappy is just because it's pretty much, aside from some of the boomers, it's like one of the first enemies you'll ever see in PSO. And they're quite quirky and quite dumb, and just like, I don't know, like the fact that they're just in this really like aggressive, like violent
Yeah.
world, but they're just these like hopeless chickens that just like you just slaughter them and they just kind of lay around for a bit playing dead, and then they're like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna try and run away now. And I always found it really funny that they've kind of been the mascot for PSO for quite a while.
Oh, for sure.
And it holds a lot of memories for me. I mean, obviously this model is based off of the PSO2 one. But yeah, and I think, you know, because she got it for me as well, it holds a lot of value to me dearly. But I think, yeah, if you've played PSO, then to any standards, you'll know what a Rappy is or what they are.
Oh, very much so. They're absolutely iconic to the series now. You know, I know they've changed a bit over the years with the designs in different games, but they're all fundamentally quite similar. And
I think you're
they'll always be
right.
Rappies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like it sounds like crazy to say, but there's a lot of like familiarity between, for example, if someone's played Final Fantasy, you'll know that the main mascot there is a chocobo. So
Yeah.
to have something that looks like incredibly similar, sort of like
Like,
with a few little differences, I think it's very, very difficult to forget what they are, you know?
like
And
Chocobo at
then
home.
yeah, yeah. And then if you've played PSU, for example, you'll be sick of seeing the sight of a Rappy, because there's like 6 and 7 foot Rappies running around and shotgunning people down and stuff. So yeah, that's I guess that's something that I would probably end my section on, because how can you not love that as well? They're just so like adorable, which is really cool.
So for my last one, it's two things that are very similar. One is PSO, one is PSO2. But it's action figures or statues. The first one, I have actually showed it on stream before, but it was quite hard to actually get to show on camera very well. But I have a little statue of a Ricocil.
That's so cool.
Just trying to get the camera to focus
Oh,
on it a
the
bit.
detail on that is insane. My word.
So this is it's a Bandai figure. I believe the brand is called, I think it's Band Presto possibly. I had to import this from Japan, and I think this cost about £60 to buy.
Oh
It is
my
quite hard
word.
to find now.
Yeah, I
They,
bet.
they did two different versions of this. So there was one that was a pink and white one, which looked like Eleanor. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
this one is actually another Eleanor figure, but you get special parts with it to make it into Shino from Seek My Master. So
Oh,
I had
that's
to do that
so
because
cool.
I love Shino in PSO. She's probably one of my favorite characters, so I had to make Shino. You get a little Sato mag with it, which you might be able to see. It's an incredibly
Yeah, you
chunky
can.
Sato. But it's a really good figure. It even comes with little stickers for the section ID badge, so you can have whatever section ID you
No
want.
way. That's so intricate.
It's a ridiculous amount of detail. There is a load more accessories with it as well, so you do get things like there's a Madame's umbrella that comes with it, a few other things as well. But yeah, I had to make Shino because she's always been one of my favorite characters in PSO. Even though she's quite a minor character overall, I've just always really liked the story.
Yeah, but I mean, even some of the minor characters can have such a major impact, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
not to get too spiritual, but I think that's what PSO does really well. It has a real knock-on effect that, like, when you play certain missions and interact with certain NPCs, it's very much like, wow, like they're not just there for no reason.
yeah.
They might have a small amount of time with you, but they really do leave a lasting impression, which I think is really really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think particularly the story with Sheenoff, with obviously of trying to find a master as well. It's one of the saddest stories in PSO,
Yeah.
and you genuinely feel sorry for her. I think so. I had to rep her with the figure.
Oh mate, well, listen. I don't think that's going to be the last of an ever growing collection, and certainly for me, I might not have a mass amount of space left, but I'll always find space for things if it means enough to me. I guess probably from unless you've got anything else to show,
There's
then
one
go
more I've
on.
got, which
Yeah, yeah, go for it. Yeah,
I'm still working on it. So it's not finished yet. I've been
yeah,
posting this on my
cool.
Discord,
This
so
is
people
this
who
is
are in
an
my Discord might know.
exclusive.
Um,
Yeah,
but
cool. Go for it.
this is a PSO2 item, and it is incredibly hard to get hold of because you can only get it from Japan, like most PSO2 stuff. And it's a very, very hard to build statue of a Huniwell from PSO2.
Oh wow. I mean,
So,
this is completely like alien to me in many ways, but I can appreciate what I'm looking at.
so this is totally custom built. It comes in about 100 odd pieces, so it's a bit of a project to
Oh
build.
my word!
You
What?
have to custom paint it and everything. So it's all I've
So
painted it
you've
all.
painted that whole thing,
Yeah, yeah.
mate?
So
Wow,
it's
genuinely wow.
it's not finished yet. I've got a couple of more things to do on it, but it's a really, really cool figure. It's a nice centerpiece for my collection as well. Um,
Yeah,
there is also a full New World one you can get as well, so I'm planning on getting that next.
no way. And this is something that did you say you can order like within the UK, or did you have to get it imported?
You may be able to get it from someplace in the UK, but you'll probably get overcharged for it. So I got it directly from the manufacturer in Japan.
Wow. Holy moly, that's the fact that you've also taken the time to custom paint that is insane. I mean, I don't know this about you, but did you ever have any dealings with like Warhammer and stuff like when
Yeah.
you were younger? Yeah, yeah. I know I can see skill, trust me. Like I know I was like, there's no way this man has just painted that figurine that well without having prior experience. That's awesome, mate. How much have you got left to do to finish it?
There's not a whole lot left now. I just need to detail paint a few little parts on it. And then there's just some decals to put on it and then a clear coat, and then it'll be all finished. Um,
Wow.
the slightly annoying thing about it was I'm not going to beat around the bush, it was over £100.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I bought it, and then when you buy it, you don't realize it doesn't come with a base.
Oh, no
So you
way.
can't stand it. So I had to custom make a base for it as well.
Oh my word, mate, that's some dedication. So that, but then I suppose the beauty of that is technically now a one-off piece, right? You can't
Oh, yeah.
replicate that. Well, I mean, you can make different, but I get you can make different bases, but that is your only, the way you've painted it and looked after it, and that's really really cool. Blimey, I bet you'd be like, I'd mind you for over £100. I'd want someone to build it for me. I mean, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I've spent all this money. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think
Um,
having built it now, I think I would quite like someone to build the next one.
yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I think I don't know, you'll have better luck trying to hunt a SJS than you would trying to build one of them again. That'd be awful. I guess perhaps from my point of view, not to kind of speak on behalf of both of us, but I'd be really kind of keen to know on both videos, both this video on my channel and on Scarline's channel, what have you guys collected? Is there anything that you've got in your collection that's just hidden? Maybe it's really dusty and you haven't looked at it in a while. Have you got anything really obscure? If it is not just PSO related, but is it Fantasy Star related? Is there anything that you're really proud of? Because I think that'd be something. I don't want to speak on behalf of both of us, but I think that'd be something we'd be really interested in knowing and having a look. Because I'm sure there's a lot of money's worth of collectibles out of there that I wouldn't say wasted because it's never a waste, but we spent far too much. Unless you've got anything to add to that, mate.
I would just say that if you've got anything PSO related that I haven't seen, please post it so I can go and buy it.
Oh, this is it. This is the next video is going to be us. Like, I'm going to edit a little judges panel for me and you. We're just going to sit behind it and we're just going to look and we're going to like share our opinions on everyone else's collectibles. And if it's not good enough, we're going to tell you so. And that's the video.
And meanwhile, in the background, there'll just be piles of boxes from Japan that I've ordered as a result of it.
Yeah. I'll be like sending you stuff. Like, can you just build this for me, please? just please build it and paint it and send it back.
I've done one.
Dear.
That's enough.
Oh, mate, that's so funny. That is absolutely brilliant. Well, I guess we don't normally do like outros like this in like a joint format, but I guess it only makes sense, perhaps from my point of view, to say if you did enjoy this sort of stuff, you probably would have seen previously that we've done a couple of videos together now. I really enjoy the dynamic. We got on really well. That's what I would tell you. He'd probably tell you something totally different. If you do like this sort of stuff, please do consider leaving a like rating. Subscribe if you are new to both of our channels. Go and check out SectionSkyly as well. It does a lot, not just for us, but for PSO. We're massive advocates of the game, the franchise, and only want to see it grow. But yeah, if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.